All right, so you're trying to build better habits.
Yeah.
Who isn't, right?
Yeah.
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into the work of a really interesting self-help expert from Japan.
Oh, cool.
His name is Kiyof
Okay.
Nakajima, and he runs something called the Self-Esteem Academy.
Interesting.
And we got a whole stack of his emails to go through.
Wow.
But, his big idea is that if you want to build a habit,
Uh-huh.
that it's all about self-efficacy.
So, like, believing you can do it.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like believing in yourself, basically.
Yeah. And he says that's how you get through that tough beginning part.
The patience period.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But get this.
Wait,
He says that sometimes the best thing you can do is take a break.
really?
Yeah.
That's not what most self-help people say.
I know, right?
Wow.
But he says it can actually make your self-efficacy stronger.
Ah, okay. I'm intrigued.
So we're going to unpack all that and more today.
Cool.
But first, I'm curious what you thought about this whole cultural angle.
Oh, yeah, that was super interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
he talks a lot about how self-efficacy is kind of tied into Japanese culture.
Right.
Their emphasis on, like, discipline and all that.
Perseverance.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not just like Western self-help repackaged.
Not at all. It's like a totally unique perspective.
Yeah.
Based on a whole different cultural background.
That's so cool. Okay, but before we get too far, I think it's worth clarifying.
What's that?
What exactly self-efficacy?
Yeah, good point.
Because it sounds a lot like self-esteem.
Right. They're definitely related.
Yeah.
The self-esteem is more like your overall feeling of worth,
Okay.
while self-efficacy is specifically about believing you can achieve something.
Oh, so it's more targeted.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's that feeling of, I got this.
Yeah.
When you're facing a challenge.
I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
Think about a time when you learned a new skill.
Okay.
Like maybe you learned how to cook something really difficult. Or you finally picked up that new language you've been wanting to learn.
Right.
That feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah.
That's self-efficacy in action.
I get it.
So it's not just about feeling good, it's about knowing you can do it.
And then actually doing it.
Exactly. And that's what helps us push through those tough early stages of building a new habit.
Totally.
So how does Nakajima say we can build this self-efficacy?
He's got a bunch of different techniques, but one that really stands out is this thing he calls the life chart.
The light chart?
Yeah.
Have you ever
I'm picturing like a big chart.
kind of, yeah. Basically, you take a piece of paper
Okay.
and you map out all these different areas of your life.
Like what?
Like health relationships,
Yeah.
work, personal growth, you name it.
Oh, okay.
And then you mark where you're currently at in each area.
Okay.
And then here's the cool part. You plot where you want to be.
Oh, so it's like a roadmap?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like a personalized roadmap for self-improvement.
I love that.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be overwhelming, though? For some people, probably, yeah.
Like if you're already feeling unmotivated.
Yeah. Adding a whole chart to fill out,
Exactly.
that's a lot.
And that's where Nakajima's emphasis on honesty comes in.
Oh, interesting.
He says you got to be realistic when you assess yourself.
No sugarcoating.
No.
None whatsoever.
Got to be brutally honest.
Yep. The life chart isn't about judging yourself.
Right.
It's about acknowledging your starting point without shame.
That's a good point because sometimes focusing on your weaknesses,
Wow.
it can feel kind of discouraging.
It can, especially when you're trying to build a new habit.
You want to focus on the positive.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But Nakajima argues that by acknowledging your weaknesses,
Yeah.
you can actually target your efforts better.
Oh, that makes sense.
For example, let's say you're trying to start exercising every day,
Okay.
but your life chart shows you're only exercising like once a week.
Oof. Yeah, that's a pretty big gap.
Right, so that gap becomes your focus.
Okay, so the life chart isn't just about setting these goals.
It's about understanding the steps you need to take
Exactly.
to get from point A to point B.
You got it.
I like that.
And that clarity can really boost your motivation.
Yeah.
And your self-efficacy.
Okay, so we talked about the life chart
Yeah.
and being honest about our weaknesses,
Mm-hmm.
but he also talks about reflecting on your strengths.
He does.
Wait, hold on.
What?
How does focusing on what we're already good at
Yeah.
help us build new habits?
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
It's like reminding yourself that you've mastered tough stuff before.
Oh, okay.
So you can do this too.
I see. So it's like tapping into those past successes
Right.
to give us that confidence boost we need.
Exactly.
Okay.
I like it.
It's all about believing in your own ability to grow.
Now, there's this other idea that Nakajima talked about that I found really interesting.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Taking breaks.
Oh, right.
Like most self-help advice is all about pushing through,
Yeah, no pain, no gain.
Right, exactly. But he actually encourages us to...
To take a strategic pause.
Okay.
So let's say you're working on a new habit
Huh?
and you're really struggling.
Yeah, I've been there.
Nakajima says, it's okay to give yourself one planned break.
Huh.
But the key is to intentionally restart the next day.
So you're not giving up.
Exactly.
You're just taking a breather.
Yeah, it's like saying, I'm choosing to step back for a moment, but I'm still in control.
That makes sense.
It's very different from feeling like you failed.
Right. It's like a reset.
Yeah, and that's the core of self-efficacy, right?
Yeah.
Believing in your ability to course correct.
Even when you mess up.
Exactly.
Powerful stuff.
So it's not about white-knuckling.
No.
It's about building that mindset for long-term success.
I like that.
And it's so interesting how he connects all these techniques back to that initial patience period.
The beginning part.
Yeah.
He argues that when you truly believe you can do it,
Mm-hmm.
those early challenges don't seem as scary.
Right. It's like you've got this secret weapon.
Exactly. You're more likely to try things out, to adapt,
Yeah.
and ultimately make that habit stick.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive into Nakajima's work.
I know, right?
We've learned about the power of self-efficacy
Yeah.
and how tools like the life chart,
Mm-hmm.
honest self-assessment,
Right.
and even strategic breaks
Yeah.
can help us build lasting habits.
Oh, cool.
But here's something to think about.
What's that?
We've been talking about all of this in the context of building habits.
Right.
But where else in your life could you use a boost of self-efficacy?
Ooh, good question.
What challenges could you tackle if you had more confidence?
I like that.
Something to think about.
Definitely.
And if you're interested in learning more about Nakajima and his work,
yeah,
we definitely encourage you to check it out.
he's got a lot of great insights.
Yeah, he really does.
Cool.
And remember, you have the power to shape your own future.
Just so true.
If you start believing in yourself, amazing things can happen.
Love it.
That's it for this deep dive.
Until next time.
We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.